Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. Very excited with the guests that I have for you all this week. We are going to begin with, in my first segment, John Yorde. He is with the Millersport Sweet Corn Festival. He's such a sweet guy. He's just going to share so much of what they've got going on this year for the Sweet Corn Festival. We're going to also talk about sweet corn. Also, I have one of the most, I think, amazing, fun guys in our community, Johnny Garber. And I probably don't need to say much more than that. He's going to share his story. He is my veteran of the month, so don't go anywhere, folks. A lot of fun coming up on this week's show on Down Home with Tina. Be back in a minute.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. It's Down Home with Tina. I'm so excited. It has been many years that I have had the opportunity to get and speak with John Yorde. I know Dan Booz is also involved, but John is the Marketing and Public Relations Chair for the Millersport Lions Club, Millersport Sweet Corn Festival, and they are celebrating a huge year this year, 75 years, John.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we missed our 75th during the COVID. We had to put one off, but this is actually our 75th Sweet Corn Festival. So it's going to be a big one, we hope. We got a lot of things going on.
Absolutely, and this is, we were talking before we got started, the biggest program, or the sponsored program that you have ever had, which is really a great comeback, especially being for the 75th, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so. It's been a lot of people involved in that and making it happen. We wanted it big for this year, and we went out to different companies and asked for their ads, and it all worked out.
We're like, let's do it.
I had an assistant this year for a change. I had Angela, I can't pronounce her last name, Senafanti, I believe.
Okay.
She's a realtor in Millersport, but she's also a Lion, and they asked her to come on and help, and she was responsible for several ads, and it really worked out great.
It looks fabulous. Yep. So why did the Millersport Lions Club decide to put on a Sweet Corn Festival back that many years ago?
Well, originally the goal was to sell 10 dozen ears of corn at 5 cents an ear. And they thought if they could do that, they could support their Lions Club for the next year.
Like a little fundraiser.
Like a little fundraiser, and that's exactly what it was. And then they would, like I said, 10 dozen ears was no problem. We probably sell that about every 3 minutes right now.
Right.
If you ever seen corn fly, it's going all the time. But we do a good job at the corn.
Where do you all get your sweet corn, John?
It comes from, you asked me too quick. We buy it out of Urbana.
Okay.
I can think of the name of it here in a minute, but I'm surprised that I can't. But they specially grow the corn for us. Nice. It's nurtured, it's watered, it's taken care of, and it is picked on Wednesday of the festival, put in a truck and brought to us. We get it about noon.
So it's the freshest corn that anybody is ever going to get.
Yes,
I'm sure that's why it has been such a success year after year.
Yeah, they have supplied the corn every year, but I think one. and somebody got the bright idea, well, we can get it a little bit cheaper. And they got cheaper, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
So the corn wasn't very good, and we went right straight back to them, and that's where we still get it.
Oh, that's really wonderful. So what are some of the things that you do during the Sweet Corn Festival that has to do with the corn?
Well, there's this year they come up with a corn cob toss.
Okay.
We eliminated the outhouse race.
I know. I never got
I
to
know
do
you're
it.
sad.
I know.
That was your favorite event.
I know.
And you look so good sitting on that seat.
John.
But anyway, that's a new event. I haven't seen it personally, but I think they have a lot of fun with it. Other than boiled corn, there aren't a whole lot of things. You know, you go to the pumpkin show and you got pumpkin burgers and pumpkin this and that and the other.
Yeah.
We don't do that. You can get kettle corn,
Okay.
or you can get boiled corn, and that's about it.
Do you have the corn eating contest?
Have a corn eating contest 2 and 3 times a day.
Wow.
They're all listed in our brochure here. What time? I think the first one on Wednesday, 7 o'clock
Okay.
on Wednesday, and that's down at the bandstand down front, down by the major prize booth.
Okay. And
So-
it's August 31st through September 3rd.
Yes.
Are you having any kind of celebrity corn eating contest?
I think they went back to the mayors. I'm not
Okay.
sure what they did with that.
Okay.
We've got a new chairman that kind of filled in this year, and the old chairman moved out. He's also the president
Okay.
this year, so he had to kind of back off. There's other duties to do, so we have a new president. And I'm not sure which way she was going, but
So do folks purchase enough corn for some to go back and take it off the cob and freeze it for the
well,
winter?
I'll tell you, we don't really like to sell it that way because it's a pain for us to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we have people now that come in and bag the corn,
Yeah.
so you can go in and buy a dozen
That's
in a bag.
That's what, and take
go
it,
on
and then they can go home and do whatever they want.
We sell bunches of that
Like
that
that.
way. Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Do you take orders in advance or have any idea for folks? Or no,
No.
this is just first come, first serve. This is
No,
what you get
I
when you
mean,
get in line.
unless you wanted to order a couple cases or something
Yeah.
in advance, really wouldn't help matters.
There's nothing like good, fresh, sweet corn. And
Yeah.
it's sometimes, at the grocer, it's
Oh, yeah.
hit or miss. And that's where you take that first bite and you go, oh no. So this is just really that great opportunity to get fresh and wonderful, good, tasty, flavorful sweet corn. But we haven't even started talking about the first day and what takes place at the very beginning, the kickoff for the Sweet Corn Festival,
Well,
which is going to be Wednesday, August 31st.
Wednesday, August 31st. The big kickoff is our parade. Again, we're well known for our parade. This year, our grand marshals, keep right on
75
going.
times.
We got 75 times. We don't know. I haven't heard how many. Unless they're
yeah.
deceased or have another engagement or something. We've invited all 75 queens to participate as grand marshals. So we're hoping
What
a lot
a
of them
parade.
show up. Yeah, it's going to be strategically. It's a nightmare, but we'll get there.
And how many schools are typically at this parade and marching?
Well,
Their marching bands
That's
and
one thing.
cheerleaders.
Yeah,
and
one
sports
thing we're
teams.
known for is our parades, and it's because of our marching bands. You go to most parades, they might have 2 or 3, and it's over. With us, we have 20 to 22, depending on how many entries we've received, and it's any school in the area that wants to participate.
Have you ever had, what was I going to say? Like all of or were you always in September? Did you always have this right as school started?
It's always been Labor Day weekend.
which is about the time school starts, which I was wanting to say is that is so ideal because everybody's gearing up and excited for the first football game and all of that. So they're just all rowdied, and you get them at that really great time of year where it's almost kind of like the kickoff to school. And you get all the bands and they all come together. So whoever had that idea, that was such a very smart idea from the beginning.
In order for them to have a queen in the contest, they have to have a band in the parade.
Okay.
So they have to be basically escorted by their school band.
So about how many queens are there in that contest?
Well, like
Usually
I said, 20
each year.
to 22.
Oh, it's 20 to 22.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And they nominate somebody from their school, correct? Or how does that process
it's
work for these
whoever their school queen is. If they're queen of whatever high school, that's who comes to the contest.
And then they can end up becoming the Millersport
They could end up
Corn.
becoming the Millersport Sweet Corn Festival queen.
And when is the queen? When do they announce the queen?
That's on Thursday night.
Okay.
I think 7 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly what time, but
something else that you guys have is the rides. What makes your rides unique and different at the Sweet Corn Festival?
Well, I'll tell you, the company that we have is unlike any that I've ever seen. They come in about 2 weeks prior to the event, and they start cleaning, greasing, making sure everything is lubricated, everything is inspected. They're ready to go when that thing kicks off, and I mean, even their employees, they'll buy them a new T-shirt with a Corn Festival on it, or they're very clean about their employees.
Nice, and safety is very important.
Safety is a big importance. Yes.
We don't have very much time left, John, and we haven't even talked about the entertainment.
This year,
that's pretty big.
This year, we have It's called Frontmen.
Okay.
And it's the lead singers from 3 different groups. Lone Star.
Okay.
Little Texas.
Oh, yes.
And I can't recall the third one, but anyway, that's the entertainment. I think on Friday night.
Okay.
And then on Saturday.
Let's see here.
Can't think of his name.
I'm looking.
I tell you, Alzheimer's. Since we first did this, Alzheimer's is set in.
Oh, you are perfectly fine. You're doing wonderfully.
Matt Stell.
Wonderfully.
He's a younger. I've seen some of his songs that he did.
Yeah.
That he does.
Wonderful.
And he's a younger, good-looking guy. The girls should come out and take a look. But
you're funny.
I'm not sure if he's married or not, but I don't care about that.
That's not what it's about. It's about the entertainment.
I'm not.
And it's a free. John, it's free.
Yeah.
Everything is free.
Everything's free. It costs you $10 to park.
And we ask that you park, so that way it helps everybody.
Yes.
Non-profit driven. I know that we are going fast, but I will also have you folks. He will also be. I'll plan on having you as a radio show guest on WLRY 88.9. So if we don't get everything, folks, it's okay, because you can stay and pay attention to my Facebook page, Downtown with Tina, and then we'll get John on and we can talk a little bit longer and more in depth about the nonprofit side of it, because that's what it is. It's all about helping different nonprofits, and we'll also do that golf cart tour. Now we got to hold to it.
I'm ready.
Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be back. It's Downtown with Tina.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
It's Down Home with Tina, and it is such an honor to highlight my Veteran of the Month, the one, the only, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, Johnny Garber. Johnny, oh my goodness, it is such an honor to have you on set with me and just to highlight you as a veteran. And we'll talk maybe a little bit about that. That's what I have you for. But you are just so, I think it's safe to say, an icon in the Lancaster area. I know just growing up and what you did back then, and you're still going because you still, I don't know about this year, but I have seen you at the drive-in when you would do some, I think it was the opening, beginning of the season, and you may do it more than that. But you are everywhere, and so many people know you. You have made so many people smile, and probably a lot of people hooked up in a lot of the places because of the different dances and met and they saw their first love and everything. But first off, let's start with welcome to the Down Home with Tina show.
Thank you. I wrote that opening, by the way.
Yes, he did. No, he didn't. So will you please share with folks a little bit about your military experience? Why did you decide to join the Army? Did you join the Army? What happened there?
Well, I got out, I left Ohio University after 4 years, and a friend of mine, he and I traveled across the country. His name was Bob Flowers, okay. And his dad was Howard Flowers, and he was a salesman at Dick Holzer Ford here in Lancaster, and that shows you how far back that goes. I just bought a maroon Mustang Fastback. It was the cat's meow. We went out west. We went out the northern route, came down through California. We were gone 40 days. And when I came back, I knew that the draft was close.
Okay.
You know, and so I decided to enlist.
So you did voluntarily
Yes.
enlist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether I was going to be drafted, I'm not sure, but
Yes.
it was fair. This was during the Vietnam era.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I would just go ahead and enlist.
What job did you have in the military?
I was a medic.
You were a medic?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. What was that experience like for you?
Well, I knew just enough about medicine and treatments to make me dangerous.
Did they help you to not make you dangerous at that point or worse?
No. It was, I had basic training in Fort Polk, Louisiana, which is not a good place.
No.
Especially in June, July, and August.
No.
And then I spent most of my time at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas.
Very, very cool. What was your experience like, and how many years were you in?
Well, I was in a total of 4 years.
Okay.
I was in the reserve the last couple of years.
Okay.
And that was with a medical unit in Whitehall, 22nd, 91st U.S. Army Hospital.
You did not just say that. That was my unit that I was the reservist in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, you guys. That is crazy. When you said medic, you gave me goosebumps. That is where I started out in my Army in 1990, was the 2291st USA Army Hospital.
Was
and
it
we were
in Whitehall?
Yes.
Oh, it's a small world, Tina.
This is really, yeah. So I'm just like, this is unbelievable. Yeah, yeah. So they went, after that, they went 914th Combat Support Hospital at that. Okay. I'm just like totally, I can't believe this. We could go on and on and on. That's really, really, really amazing.
You mean it was still there after I left? I figured they'd shut that thing down.
They did during my time there, which was just a couple of years in, and they had, finally closed down 2291st. Amazing. You were talking about medic and all of them going to Fort Sam Houston. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I thought that's where they went, but I was not a medic. I was a 71 Lima. We'll talk about that after a bit because we've got so much more to talk about. Okay. So what did you do after that? You came back to Lancaster?
Yes. And I was hired at the WHOK before I went into the service.
K95?
K95 is where I started during the all-night shift, which was not the prime shift, but that's where you start.
Right.
From midnight to 6.
Yeah. How did that happen and take place? You just came back and you knew they had an opening?
When I was in junior high school, I called out there. I always knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in broadcasting. And I talked to a gentleman out there that was a program director. His name was Roy Stingley. Okay. And he had a country show on in the mornings. Back then, in the 60s, AM was king.
Okay.
FM was just starting.
Wow.
And so I asked if I could come out. I was probably, in the 7th grade. And so I asked if I could come out and just watch. And they said, sure. So my mom or my dad, I don't remember, drove me out there. And they had a little chair for me over in the corner. And I could sit in the control room. And I went out several times and just watched. And I was thrilled to death. And I used to, my home, we lived on Fair Avenue, I would have a box, and I tied or taped a soup can on the front of it to look like a TV camera. And I would do the news. I would get the Lancaster or Columbus paper, and I would sit there and read the news.
Oh, Johnny, that's cool.
I mean, I actually forgot about that.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into broadcasting. Yeah. And a couple of years after I did the thing out there, and just by watching, they gave me a job. They felt sorry for me and gave me a job.
Like, yeah, Johnny, sure, Johnny, here you go. Midnight to, what'd you say, 6 a.m. or something, yeah. Then what from there? I mean, because you worked at Z103, I don't think that, was that like back to back? Is that what you did?
No, this was in the 60s, and Z103, we put Z103 on the air in 1989.
Oh, yeah, so quite some time later.
And we sold it in 97.
Okay, all right. So you continued to do DJ stuff then at that time?
Yes.
All righty. Now, some friends of mine, I know they had talked about Ziggy's, and I had asked you, what is Ziggy's to those folks who may not be familiar with it? This is fascinating to me as well.
Ziggy was a character I had on my radio show when I was doing the rock and roll show on HOK in the afternoons. And most people don't know this, but the voice for Ziggy was Lou Varga. And we would, I had a great time. Nobody ever knew who the voice was for that.
Nice.
And we would talk about the WHOK pool, and we'd have pool breaks, and there was a song that we'd go into the news called "Everybody Out of the Pool." We still play it every once in a while, and people would come out to the station, and we'd see them out in the drive. They were trying to find the pool. There was no pool. There never was a pool, but we pretended, and people thought there was.
Aww.
So that was in the mid '60s.
You had many, many fans, without a doubt.
Well, I was lucky.
You were lucky, yeah. Well, you gave us something. It was your purpose. It's obviously your purpose.
Well, in rock and roll, the mid '60s, you had the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It was a great time for new groups coming in, and that was the real start of rock and roll, Jerry Lee Lewis and people like that.
So you obviously have a love for music.
Absolutely.
And you continue to do music as well with doing your DJ work.
Yes.
And still today, you still do that.
Oh my, we are as busy today as we've ever been.
Are you really? What are all of the services that you offer with that?
Well, weddings probably make up about 75% of our business.
Okay.
We do high school reunions. We do proms, car shows.
Yeah.
And we actually go to Olivedale, I believe, 3 times a year, and I really enjoy going there because we get to play music there that we don't play a lot of other places. And now we have the big video screens, so we can go back, especially high school reunions. We're doing Lancaster High School's 50th this year, and a bunch of others.
You are.
So you go back and do songs from the 70s or whatever, and then right there beside us at the big screens, you actually see the groups performing the songs back in the day. People love the videos.
What has been your very favorite thing throughout your career?
I think the biggest concert that I ever did was, of course, Jimi Hendrix at Vets Memorial. That was my first big concert. And we've done concerts. I've had Three Dog Night, The Doors, Chicago. Those are the big ones that we did. And then at Siggy's, my gosh, we had Tommy James and the Shondells, and
that was a hopping place, wasn't it?
We had live bands 5 nights a week, and we would get groups that were coming like from Cincinnati to Cleveland. We'd get them on a Thursday, and so I could afford them, and we bring them in.
Yeah.
I would guess, I should have brought the list. There's about 20 groups that had passed their heyday, but were still very popular. And they would come in for one night, and we had Gary Lewis and the Playboys on Labor Day weekend, and Jerry Lewis had his muscular dystrophy telethon on at the same time. So I remember on the TVs there in the club, we'd have Jerry Lewis, and then his son was actually playing on stage.
How many nights a week when you had that?
It was
bar,
5 nights. Wednesday.
Music was 5 nights.
Wednesday through Sunday. We were closed Mondays and Tuesdays, so we could recuperate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What was it like when you went out to? Because it was in my high school days, and I don't know if it was in your prime when you started DJing. When did you start doing the DJing and playing the music for the public?
My first time to DJ was my senior year in high school. They asked me to do a sweetheart dance or something, I don't remember. And we had, I begged, borrowed, and had sound equipment, and it probably sounded like crap. But at the time, I thought that this is great. It can't sound any better than this. But today's equipment is so much better.
Oh yeah, yeah. So for folks who want to contact you and reach out to you in one of the services that you offer with your mobile DJ, how do they do that?
Well, it's just, you can go on johnnygarber.com.
Okay.
Or you can just look it up. I want to mention one thing though, Tina. I've had and still do have excellent people that work with me.
Awesome.
Tom Turchgessner has traveled and been my right arm for 26 years, I believe.
Very nice.
And some of the other guys at Disc Jockey for me have been with me for years.
Oh, Johnny, it takes a great team, doesn't it, to make everything
absolutely.
work?
Absolutely.
It's like a fine-tuned organ, I think they say.
Yeah. I enjoy not only the music, but I enjoy the people.
That's what's important. That's what
You
keeps
bet.
it going. Wow, you
been one
bring
lucky
good
person.
to you. I think It's you. It's just you, Johnny. Little gift in there, Ava Jeweler certificate, and a couple of little
my
things
gosh.
just for being my veteran of the month. So I just want to thank you so much.
Tina, thank you for asking
all that
me to be
you
here.
do.
It's been a
And
pleasure.
just, I think on that behalf of many in the community, they've just really enjoyed you and your bright light to us.
You're very
so
kind.
keep on shining,
Thank
my
you.
friend. Alrighty, folks. Don't go anywhere. I got a little special message coming up next. It's Down Here with Tina.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We could not have done as a family what the Factory House did for my dad. No way. I mean, you just can't match that care, at home.
They made the whole entire family feel comfortable every step of the way.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Down Here with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. Before I let you get out of here, and I get out of here, I have a positive quote that I would like to share with you. May you follow your dreams and always believe in yourself. Keep your eyes on the stars and hope in your heart. Always believe and never give up hope. Folks, you can watch the Down Home with Tina show a few different ways. You can watch it on YouTube, CLN, Your Hometown Connection, Spectrum, CLN 1021, on my Facebook page, Down Home with Tina. Please continue to follow. I've got some great shows coming up ahead. I've done a little bit of traveling and gone out of town to different places, and I will be highlighting some of those places that maybe you can do. I call it staycation, take some days off and go and then come back. Folks, thank you again for watching. Have a great week. God bless and good day.